Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is Sunday, March 26th, and I'm going to do my third reading of the day. I was just looking through the news real quick, just to see if there was anything interesting. And there was breaking news on CNN that in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fired the Defense Minister Yoav Gallant regarding comments Gallant made with Netanyahu's plan for basically the government to take over the judiciary and appoint judges and such. There have been protests, according to this article, there have been protests by hundreds of thousands of Israelis over the last 12 weeks opposing this maneuver. And frankly, I understand why they're protesting, because imagine if any government official, president of the United States, came and said, yeah, we're going to replace the Supreme Court with my picks. That's not going to fly really well, because it's how else do you get to an authoritative government other than taking over the judiciary? And the person who spoke out against it was his defense minister. In a later tweet, the defense minister said that he supported his previous statement. He has spent his life working for the protection and the defense of Israel, and he feels that this is weakening the defense of Israel. It also makes me wonder, was the defense minister also being asked to do things that would forcibly quell the protests, shall we say? Like to have a photo op walking across from the White House to a church that you never go to with a Bible that's backwards and upside down in your hand, and then water canning and tear gassing people who are peacefully protesting in the streets, as is their rights. They protect their rights. Yeah, that kind of thing, but on steroids. Okay, so as you can see, I'm mildly worked up by this. So, Spirit, can you give us a little bit of background as to how this is going to play out in Israel? Is Netanyahu going to get away with this, or will the judiciary be protected from basically a government takeover? Let's find out. Okay, it's a nightmare situation. You're waking up to the stress of the situation that's going on over there, crossed with money. It's always about fucking money. Okay. So I think in some ways, we'll see if this is about Netanyahu or about the situation. But Netanyahu's under a lot of stress because he's under investigation for bribery and corruption. And there's two ways somehow he got elected prime minister again. He got elected prime minister again. It's protecting him from that, and now I think he's trying to prevent any way from him being prosecuted. And what's the best way to protect yourself from being prosecuted? Own the courts. Okay, so this is about him trying to stay out of prison, for lack of a better term. So how's this going to work out? So we've got a nightmare situation, and it's driven by the money. So in the past, we've got the King of Wands. This is coming up. He was the prime minister of the country for years and years and years, decades, and he is now making big decisions for the country. So he's used to making those big decisions, but I guess those big decisions came at a price, and he made sure he got paid. He wasn't doing it for the benefit of Israel. He's doing it for the benefit of his back pocket. And here's the back pocket. Current situation. Going forward with a new proposal. And, I'm hoping that this new proposal is going to resonate with people. And as we can see with hundreds of thousands of people, it's only not resonating, but it's not resonating to the point that they're taking to the streets and protesting it. So, they're trying to go forward with this, and they're meeting a lot of resistance. Overarching energy, the Nine of Cups. This is wishes and dreams fulfilled, or if you like Lena's lower energy term, the smug merchant. You can think of this as being like the Chief Justice and the justices behind him. So the overarching energy is control of the courts. It's control of the situation. Who's going to be in control? Is it going to be the prime minister? That's what he wants. And if the prime minister gets control of the courts, it's game over for democracy there. It truly is. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Wands taking action. So I think what we're seeing is that although this proposal is going forward, there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of people taking to the streets, pushing back and fighting back against this proposal. And even the defense minister, basically he got fired for it, but he stepped up and said, no, don't support this. And I think that was a clear message also to the military, do not support this. And the outcome is the nostalgia, longing for the good old days, or the good old days, the way things used to be. This might be enough to quell the push for this, because enough people are saying we like things. Well, we like things the way they are. And, the way they were was a separate, and even in the past, it was a separate prime minister from the judiciary. If this was the U.S. card, it's like, we want to go back to the 50s where we could oppress black people and people of color and women without any worries about it. If you're a white male, Christian, that is. But we don't have to worry about white Christian males in Israel, do we? No, I think they want things to go back to the way they were, where things were calm, and they had a bunch of other stuff to worry about with this. And underneath it all, of course, is the government and the judiciary. Will this go through? Well, this is describing the situation. I think in some ways this is actually Netanyahu wanting to go back to where he's in power and, he's not under investigation for corruption, and he's doing what he needs to do in order to protect himself. Okay, so I think that whole reading right there just gave me Netanyahu's version of events. It's a nightmare situation for him because of the corruption. He's coming forward with this new idea that will buy the courts for him, protect him from that. And once he's protected, that Ace of Wands would then be, now he can go forward boldly and do all the things that he couldn't do before, because now he's got the court system behind him. He could easily as well suspend all elections and votes of no confidence, stuff like that, and install himself as a dictator. Because he wants the good old days where he held the power and there was no accountability for that power. That's my read on what Netanyahu wants out of this one. Of course, in this, and again, I chuckled. I ask a certain question to describe the situation. What I get is one person's point of view on it. Spirit sometimes doesn't answer the question I ask. It gives me the answer to the question I should have asked. And I just chuckle at that. Because it's like, okay, fine. Sorry, I didn't realize I was supposed to ask that question first. Okay, will Netanyahu be successful in his, basically, call it what it is. It's a power grab. His self-coup. Will Netanyahu be successful in this? These cards are getting kind of wonky here. Hold on. All right. Keep it the way it is. Will he be successful for Carter? We have strength. Was it upside down? No, it's right. Strength card. It's got to show strength. Strength and mastery. Will he be successful? Now that would make it seem like yes, but this could also be a reading for the country and people being strong. There's victory here. We don't know for who. There's the wedding card and the devil. And underneath it is the death card. Okay, so will he be successful? Okay, so underneath it, it could be, the death of Israel as a free country, or it could be the death of this idea. When I first saw the death card underneath there, as I was flipping things around, I think that this is more the death of this idea and the death of his rule. And here's why. Because this strength card, he's not showing strength. He's this is the people. This is Israel showing strength, and basically mastery over this situation, being strong, standing firm in their convictions. Why? Because they want their country. They want their country back, and they'll probably. My guess is they're going to say goodbye to Netanyahu. It's easier to get rid of Netanyahu than to give over your country and hope for the best. I think they're going to be victorious in their strength because they're going to unchain themselves from the devil. And again, underneath it all is the death card. It's going to be the end. So my interpretation is that the people, the citizens of Israel, and the moderates that are non-extremists will persevere and come through, but they've got to show the strength to do it. They've got to do the fight in order to overcome this situation. But I think Spirit's on their side with this one. Okay, so that's my reading on the current situation in Israel. I hope you enjoyed it. For entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just some random dude on the internet throwing tarot cards. But if you like the channel, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and do all the YouTube-y things. And we'll soon cross 500 subscribers, the milestone. All right. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.